In the heart of Babylon, where golden idols gleamed and kings believed themselves untouchable, a feast was underway. But what started as a night of celebration would end in terror, because on this night God himself would write judgment on the wall. King Belshazzar sat on his throne, his heart swollen with pride. As wine flowed freely and music filled the hall, he committed an unspeakable act. He commanded that the sacred vessels, once taken from the temple of God in Jerusalem, be brought into the banquet. These holy treasures set apart for God were now used for mockery and indulgence. He lifted a goblet and praised gods of gold and silver. But the true God was watching. Then, in the midst of laughter and sin, silence fell. A hand disembodied, glowing, appeared near the lampstand, and it began to write not with ink, but with fire. For terrifying words blazed on the palace wall. No one could read them. No one dared move. Belshazzar's face turned pale. His knees buckled. His pride melted into fear. The writing was on the wall, but its meaning was sealed. The wise men of Babylon were powerless and able to understand. But there was one, whom the Spirit of God still filled. Daniel. Summoned before the king, Daniel did not flatter or tremble. He remembered Babylon's past, he remembered Nebuchadnezzar's pride and fall. And now he stood before Belshazzar with the truth. Mene, Tekel, Parsin. These were not just words. They were God's final judgment. Mene, God has numbered your days and brought them to an end. Tekel, you have been weighed on the scales and found wanting. Parsin, your kingdom is divided and given to the Medes and Persians. It was over. In the very night of his rebellion, judgment had come. While the king feasted, the enemy had crept near. The walls of Babylon, once thought impenetrable, gave way to God's decree. And as the stars shone over the sleeping city, the king of Babylon was slain. The head of gold had fallen, just as Daniel had once prophesied. The writing on the wall was not just for Belshazzar. It echoes through time to every heart that turns away from God and pride. We may drink from golden cups, build kingdoms of wealth and power, but in the end, all are weighed, and only those who humble themselves before the Most High will stand. The writing is still on the wall. Are we listening? God does not forget. He sees the proud and lifts the humble. Will you wait for his hand to write judgment, or will you bow your heart today? Proverbs 9 verses 10 say, "The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom." Subscribe for more biblical stories that awaken the soul.